Hi friends, I'm Dr. Sutaranji from Sanjeevani College of Pharmaceutical Education and Research from the Department of Pharmacognosy. Friends, today we are going to study a subject that is a natural drug technology. In this one subject, we are going to study a topic that is the theory of the thin layer chromatography and how the thin layer chromatography is there is to be prepared and how it's work. Friends, up till now, we are going to study the different types of the chromatography. What are their important? What are their principle? What are their mechanisms? Likewise, things are there we have to be studied. In case of the thin layer chromatography, a solid phase is there. In thin layer chromatography, there are the three main basic components are there. One is the stationary phase is there, or we can say that the adsorbents are there. Then second one is there mobile phase is there, and third one is there that is a unit which we want to separate, or the components from which we want to separate. Absorbent material is there should be coated on a hard surface which should be made from the plastic, glass, or the aluminum. Nowadays, there are the ready-made aluminum plates are there that should be available in a market. Now they are also utilized. In this one, plates or hard surface of the glass, plastic, or aluminum, the 0.25 mm uh, of the thickness of the absorbent material is there should be spread. uh, this one, some of the binders are there that are to be utilized to have a binding property to have a uniform layer, and the absorbent layer is to be maintained uniformly and smoothly. There is no any breakage in there, so that plaster of Paris is there should be used as a binding material in the absorbent to have a coating. And second one is there that is a mixture. The mixture which you want to isolate, that mixture is there should be diluted in a sufficient quantity of the solvent. Mostly the methanol is there is utilized as a solvent for the preparation of this one particular mixtures. And the mixture should be applied on the thin layer chromatography plate. The application spot there is from near about 1 centimeter from the bottom side of the base. Okay. A solvent or the mixture of the solvent is there is to be called as a elutant. Is allowed to flow in upward direction on the plate by the capillary action. At all time, the solid will absorb a certain fraction of each component of the mixture, and the remainder will be in a solution. Any one molecule will spend a part of the time sitting still on the adsorbent, with the remainder the moving up the plate with the solvent. In this case, whether the mixtures are there that should be applied. For example, in this case, two mixtures are there. One is having a red ink there, and another one is a blue ink there. In this case, we are going to select the solvent in a such a way that the blue color ink there should be dissolved in a non-polar, and a red color ink is to be dissolved in a polar phase. When both are there that are to be mixed up with each other. In this case, when the solvent in there is to be taken, one is a polar phase and one other is a non-polar phase. For example, methanol and chloroform is there should be taken, and the mixture there is allowed to place in a chamber, and saturation is there should be done, and when the plate is there should be run, where the spot is there should be applied. When the mobile phase is run on this one TLC plate, when it touches to the mixture, it tries to dissolve the active chemical component, and the active chemical component will move on the upward direction along with the mobile phase, so that the separation is there is achieved. Now, how the run? These are the steps are there for the preparation of the thin layer chromatography. First one is the development of the chamber. Second one, the preparation of the TLC plate, application of the spot on the TLC plate, development of the plate, visualization of the spot. These are the different steps are there which are to be involved in thin layer chromatography. First, we will see the development of the container, where in this case, we are going to take a airtight container, which is to be made up of the glass is there, or the plastic is there, which is somewhat circular in this shape. In this the solvent is there, it should be allowed to place having a total height of the solvent from the bottom side there is not more than zero point 0.5 centimeter. Then the filter paper is there, Wetman filter paper is there, it should be placed in the surrounding of the container walls so that the solvent rises in the above direction and there is a full saturation of the chamber is there should occur. The saturation time is there is about 20 minutes is there depending on the size of the container. The saturation is mostly carried out to have a uniform flow of the solvent mobile phase on a continuous base. The saturation is there should be required. Cover the beaker with the lid and then in this case the saturation is there is to be occur. Second one is the preparation of the TLC plate. In case of the preparation of the TLC plate, the silica is there should be poured in a beaker. Activated silica is poured in a beaker and then the volatile solvent is there should be added. The slurry is prepared and the slurry there is should be put or pour on the TLC plate on one side and slurry is allowed to drain on the another slide. In this way, the slide is there should be prepared. The thickness of the layer is near about 0.25 millimeter is there, that not more than that. And after that one the slide is prepared, drying of the slide is there should be carried out and the solvent application of the mixture spot is there should be carried out. This is the solvent level and the mark is there should be made on the 1 centimeter from the bottom side and then at this one particular level the spot application is there is to be done. The mixture is there, it should be applied on this one and then drying of the slide is there, slide is there, it should be carried out. After drying, the slide is ready for the development of the chamber. On the size of the plate is there is about 5 centimeter by 20 centimeter is there, but maximum 5 centimeter size is there should be taken on a 5 centimeter width slide. Five number of the spots, four number of the spots are allowed to apply. Then spot on the TLC plate, the spot is there should be applied from the uh, what is the level of the mobile case is there above that one. The spot application is there is to be carried out, and then the solvent there is allowed to run. The solvent is there is to be allowed to run. There about 80% of the total height of the slide is there. If the total height of the slide is there is about 10 centimeter, then up to the 8 centimeter 8 centimeter, the solvent is to be allowed to run. If the height of the slide is 5 centimeter, near about 4 centimeters as height of the slide is there is to be allowed to run. In this way, slide is there should be allowed. Now the next one is there development of the chamber is there. Slide is there should be allowed to run. Place in the solvent in such a way that the applied spot which is to be or the elute which is to be allowed to separate, that is not to be deep into the solvent. The application must be above the level of the mobile phase. Then the solvent will rise up on the TLC plate and when that carries move in the upward direction by the capillary mechanism, it tries to dissolve the solvent and carries along with him till the solvent elute have affinity along with the mobile phase. The solvent move and those molecules which are not having affinity to the particular mobile phase that remains sick uh, in that one particular position. In this way, the separation is there should be occur from one component to the another one. Then after that one, dry the plate. Once the plate is there, should be run up to the 80%. Remove the plate. Immediately mark the mobile face. Dry the plate, and after drying the plate, what the elute or the spot which are to be observed, you have to mark that by using pencil. In case of the visualization of the spot which are to be appear in a normal light, just you have to mark. If not appear, and then you have to be observe this one in a UV light near and far UV light or infrared light. In this one, they have to be observe this one. If not observe, then development of the chamber slide there should be, or derivatization of the slide there should be carried out by spraying a particular reagent such as the sulfuric acid there, vanillin sulfuric acid there, anisaldate sulfuric acid there. Depends on the nature of the component which you want to visualize. The spraying agent there is to be sprayed. Retention factor is there. To calculate the retention factor, there is a formula, that is the RAF is equal to distance traveled by solute divided by distance traveled by the solvent. We can it as a solvent front. In this way, what is the answer is there? That is the retention factor. For how many number of the spots are there? Just we have to mention the readings, how much distance that spot is there should be traveled. That you have to be note down, and depends on that you have to calculate the values, or we can say that retention factor, and match with the standard. This is about the preparation of the thin layer chromatography. Next we'll see in the next lecture. Thank you.